Hey guys, this episode is for those who want to travel in style while keeping it affordable. Dina, welcome.
Thank you.
Of course, when I think about traveling in style, who would I bring on?
Would that be me?
Absolutely. Because who do I travel with in style? It's usually you.
Yes, we do that. It's amazing.
Yeah. Let's tell the audience, what does that mean, travel in style? What does that mean to you?
Yeah, I think it's an individual perspective. For me, it's going places that are on my bucket list. And sometimes those are the places that haven't been on my bucket list, but have been introduced by my friends as an option. But doing it, I don't want to say like in a luxury way, but doing it in a comfortable way, in a way that you get to enjoy, right? Like,
What does that mean though? What do you mean by comfortable?
so for me, it's traveling via an airline that I can trust. Traveling on a long flight in a comfortable seat versus
Not at the back of
not
the plane.
it is
next
not
to
at
the
back
bathrooms.
of the plane. No.
We're past those days.
Right, yeah. If I have a layover, being
Yeah.
having access to a lounge or I'm going to give it away, Delta Sky Club.
Yeah.
So having those things that kind of help you get through the chaos of travel or chaos of delays.
Do you ever feel like when you're traveling that you need a day? You need a day of recovery after traveling?
Yes. Yeah. So the day before travel is typically a preparation day, which could get chaotic. What am I packing? How much am I packing? Where am I going?
So you're somebody who waits till the day before to pack?
Yes, because what if I change my mind on what I'm going to take? What if the weather changes, and there are other
Here's
things.
what I found. A travel tip for those who are like me, who always forget to bring something. I have a friend of mine who I traveled with a lot over the years. She starts prepping a week ahead. She will set out her suitcase.
Oh, wow.
And she will, as she's thinking of things, she will actually go and set it into her bag. And I attempt to do that myself. Usually it's 2 nights before that I will set out my bag, and I will just start, as I think of things throughout the day, I will
It's
stick them in
impressive.
there.
It's very organized. I mean, what I do is I go through my mind. I have mental notes as to okay, I should take this, I should take that. But I'm also a traveler that goes with carry-on. I will do everything possible not to take that bigger suitcase.
Not to have to check in a bag.
Yes, not to check a bag, because I've been through many travels and you just never know where you're going to get stuck, how you're going to get stuck. But the other piece of it too is when you go with a carry-on luggage, once you get to a destination and let's say you kind of go improvising for certain days or things change, having that huge luggage to carry around sometimes
it's cumbersome.
It's just easier. So I'm like, okay, what fits into my carry-on? And what are the items that I want to have with me? The other piece that I kind of use as a rule, I'm like, I need my necessities. So if I'm somewhere where there is no stores, I'll have something. But on the flip side, I'm like, I can always go and get more things at a destination. And I've done this before too, where I got too many things, and you know what I did? I went to a post office, shipped it home, and continued on traveling.
I learned that. I've absolutely learned that technique from you. We did that on one of our trips recently, where you're like, don't worry about if it's going to fit in your bag. You're just going to ship it home. And that's exactly what I did. I go, this is smart. I never thought about doing that. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's get into. Okay, so we talked about kind of like the whole luxury, what that means to you. Let's dive in a little bit of you mentioned it. The travel day it can be a long day, especially if I know on your bucket list you have a lot of places that are not close.
Yes, they're international.
They're international. So you mentioned this, lounges. How are you using lounges?
Yeah.
And how do you do that affordably?
Yeah. I don't pay for that out of my own pocket. There are just so many options right now where you can utilize, in particular, I utilize a lot of credit card points in order for me to be able to upgrade. So the way I use credit card points is I don't use them for a full-on purchase. I purchase on a budget, and then I use the points to get me to that upgrade.
I do the same thing, and absolutely.
And I
learned
think
this
that's
from
where
you.
the most value of money comes in, because if you're just unloading your points, you're not necessarily getting that best deal.
So give me an example. So you are logging online. I know one thing that I do that has helped is I stick to, if I can, to one carrier, or I got an American Express. We did some shopping. Let me rephrase. You did some credit card shopping for me. You gave me a pretty bad time about the fact that I wasn't earning any points, or at least not utilizing it, like you said, in this way where it's okay, I'm going to earn points on this card. What's the card that's going to give me the best points? But also, I now do most of my booking my flights through American Express Travel, because I get 5 times the points if I use the same airline carrier. Same thing for hotels, things like that. So a lot of these credit cards have relationships built with other companies that you can invest, like you can maximize those, not just
Those
your points,
partnerships.
those
Yeah,
partnerships.
you maximize
Like
the partnerships.
I have Hertz. Anytime I can, I use Hertz for my rental vehicles, because talk about, I'm spending the same amount of money to rent the vehicle. Sometimes I get a little bit of discount, but the perks of doing through them is that I get all the upgrades. So I'll get an upgraded vehicle without any extra cost. You get first class treatment.
Yeah.
I don't have to wait in line. They already have the car ready for you. A lot of times they'll put stuff in the car for you, like a water bottle and just a snack or something like that, that I thought, again, like you said, traveling in luxury.
Yeah, well, and the thing is that you don't really have to pay for it. What is good for you to do is to do the homework, right? So it depends on what part of the country you live in, where do you travel to. So you kind of zoom in onto an airline that gives you most options of getting out of the city that you're in and to the potential destinations that you would want to go. What benefits you is if you are choosing to travel with the same airline as often as possible, so you accumulate all of the point system within that same airline. Sometimes your ticket might be a little bit more expensive to a particular destination than switching to a different carrier. But if you think about it in like miles and how much are you actually earning for those points, that $50 difference, that $100 difference may be 100% worth it, if not more. So the way that I have set up my travel experience is my airline of preference is Delta, just because it gets me out of my location to where I need to go. There is a credit card associated with it, so I put all of my purchases on my credit card. Now I'm very financially disciplined that I pay off my credit card.
Thank you for adding that. Yes.
I pay off my credit card right as the bill comes in, sometimes before. But what that does for me is every dollar that I am spending actually works for me on the back end. And then when I book my travel, I will purchase a ticket in a cabin of choice that is affordable for that particular travel. So it may be main cabin, it may be a comfort cabin, but then because I'm accumulating so many points, I'm accumulating status with the airline. So now I am moving up the list for the upgrades. So I wait for the upgrade, and if the upgrade doesn't come in, the airline gives you an option to upgrade your seat for points versus money. So at that point, I can be flying first class for a cost of main cabin. And what I did is I used my points, flipping back, I put my dollars that I spent to work to get me to a destination in a more comfortable arrangement. So that's what I call traveling in style, and not paying it in dollars. Now there's some homework you've got to do. You got to do some research. You have to look at the benefits of the credit cards. You research the credit card. You have to be financially disciplined and make sure that those dollars are actually working for you. But it makes the travel so much easier. And when you finally get to the destination in a better seat arrangement, just the stress level of getting there is easier. And when it comes in particularly of importance, if you're running into the delays, if you've been upgraded to a first class seat, the airline will do everything possible to get the first class passengers on the next flight out the door to their destination.
I experienced this recently on a trip to Belize, where we had someone in our crew that was flying first class. We missed our flight, and that is exactly what his experience was. They got him on a flight the next day, whereas the rest of us had to wait 2 days before we got on a flight.
2 days being stuck somewhere.
But we were stuck in Belize.
That's not too bad.
I wasn't really hurting that bad. I was like, I could wait 2 days. It's fine.
Yeah. But if it's in the middle of nowhere, then it's a little bit more hectic. The other trick I use is becoming a user of like one platform. Or a platform that offers you discounts, but you pay membership fees. So I have 2 platforms going on. Like, one of the other platforms that I use is Expedia. So that's what I use primarily for like hotels and stuff like that. And I also accumulate points there. But one of my favorite platforms that I'm using on a regular basis is through Travorium. So it does have a monthly fee that I pay as a membership, but the discounts and the free days of travel that I get back,
it more
than pays for itself, because they have a point system. Like, for a membership fee that I'm paying throughout the year, I essentially get one free trip, and we're talking about free week of stay in really nice destinations. So if you have flexibility in your schedule, you can kind of pick up the destinations that are coming up. If they might be off season, or maybe they've got like a room left that they're just trying to book out. And typically you would be paying, $2,000 for that stay, where you could pick it up for $300. And you're like, of course.
Sign me up.
Yes, sign me up. And how many points do I have to get there on the airline? So it's really utilizing your own dollars and making them work for you, because you have expenses anyways. So why not put them into a system that gives something back, where when you're like done working and you want to just unplug, you're unplugging in style.
Love it. Let's talk about lounges.
Oh, lounges. I do like lounges.
I do too. That was a game changer.
Yeah, I do a lot of travel for work. And my rule for myself is get as much work done on the plane before you get to the destination. So when you get to destination, you can actually enjoy your time there, and do some sightseeing or whatever you're there for. And lounges become so handy just to get that work done. First of all, you come in there. The meals are usually prepared, so you don't have to think about it. You kind of go and you get what's available. You're able to sit down in a quiet space. You have internet access. A lot of the lounges actually have some like closed rooms where you could take a phone call.
They have comfy chairs.
Some lounges offer a nap room. Other lounges offer a shower room. So to me, it's being productive while I am getting to a location. So when I get there, I can spend most of my time and focus enjoying the place versus trying to still shuffle through things. Now, it might be different for people that are just going for vacation. But the people that are traveling for business and still want to get some playtime in, that's what I found has worked for me, is the utilization of those lounges, and being able to knock out 3 hours worth of work if you have a 3-hour layover.
Especially when you're just sitting there, you don't really have anything else going on.
Anyways.
Yeah. Now, how do you do lounges affordably?
Again, credit cards. A lot of credit cards offer lounge access. My choice is the partnership of Delta and American Express. The credit card does have a fee. That is an annual fee, but you get either unlimited lounge access. It just depends on your spending. But here's another trick. That credit card fee can be paid with your points. So it's not necessarily the money that will be out if you're utilizing this correctly. It's like, okay, this is going to cost me $300 a year. I'm going to get lounge access so many times. I'm going to accumulate all of these points. I'm going to pay the fee with points and then continue on using the points for the airline travel. And guess what? My lounge access is free only because I planned for it.
So what's your next trip? What's our next trip? What's our next luxury trip that we're doing affordably?
I think the one that we'll be doing, we've got some work coming up.
We do.
We do. But we are going to make a choice to unplug for a few days.
This is the beauty of traveling with you, is you force me to unplug. Yes, I like it.
We will unplug for a few days. And, my hotel membership that I have has few days of a free stay on points. So we're just going to find a little resort and chill out.
So we're going to actually cut this because I want to go actually book that trip right now. So Dina, thank you for coming on and sharing some of your tips on how to travel in luxury, but doing it affordably.
It's been fun. Thank you for having me.
Always.